the Mud Peddlers, a podcast where two nerdy ceramic artists share the behind the scenes of their worlds of clay. We're your hosts, Lindsey M Dillon.
And I am Donte of Earth Nation.
Okay.
You have a ritual song?
I have a ritual song to sing.
Is it a ritual song or the song that creates a ritual? Because those are very different.
It is a ritual song.
Okay, thank God.
It is a part of my family's history.
Oh, okay.
Okay, are you ready?
I am super ready.
It's somebody's birthday today. Every minute, every hour of the day. Could be Gina in Paris or the Mud Peddlers in Sacramento, but it's somebody's birthday today.
It can't be an original song.
Woo!
That can't be it's not my birthday or your birthday.
It's
our
not.
birthdays are close together.
It's the Mud Peddlers' birthday. It's our 3-year anniversary.
It's our 3-year-old child.
Yeah.
Of the Mud Peddlers.
Yes. Who we hold captive in the studio.
Yeah, to make content for you.
To make content
you
for,
better
yeah.
be leaving those reviews.
No, my mom wrote that song for her children's album that she won an award for.
I
She
know.
is a national award-winning children's recording artist.
I think I have the CD that she gave me.
I think, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
still
right. Because
have
when you had your little baby.
I love her so much.
It's adorable. Anyway, so it's our anniversary.
It is our
It's our
anniversary.
birthday, I should
Do
say.
you know what today is? It's our anniversary.
Oh my god.
Anniversary. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
There's pedals on the ground right now.
Ah!
You're walking on anniversary pedals.
Oh my god.
We don't have to smash that like button, but it's implied that
Yes.
that we should.
Yeah, exactly. That was beautiful. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that because you got both of us singing this episode.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I stole mine from an R&B group.
That is okay. I stole mine from my mother, so it's okay. Yeah. So, some of you sent in some audio, and neither of us have heard it yet. We're going to be listening to it for the first time on this episode. But before we do that, we wanted to take just a few minutes to talk about, like, what it's been like for 3 years on the Mud Peddlers, you know, what's been working, what's changed, what we want to do differently, and yeah, so I have some thoughts, but I want to hear what you think.
I have more, like, realism thoughts. I have
Okay.
more, like, oh, this is real to some people. And not to
Tell
say...
me.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it. Sorry, I know you just, like...
I'm
chewing
eating
boba.
yeah.
We started our boba tradition again a little bit, so...
Little bit.
Yeah.
It's your fault, really.
I know.
I blame my baker. Anytime he makes cookies, I get a stomachache because I ain't got no self-control. And he's just like, again? And I'm like, it's your fault, bro.
Yeah.
And he's like, I put them out there. You don't have to eat them. Have some self-control. And I was like, you know I don't have that. I'm a dog. If there's food around, I'm going to eat the whole bowl.
Especially chocolate, which is gonna, it's gonna mess with your system if you're a dog.
I don't think I realized what an impact not only this show, but the channel and our content in general as a team had on people until I went to Ohio and Sika. And we got stopped like every 3 minutes, 5 minutes.
I feel like it started in Sacramento, though, because we ran into that even in Sacramento. Do you remember that first year?
I don't.
Dude, yeah, no, we got stopped all the time.
From where? When?
Dude, do you not remember
I don't
Sacramento
remember.
and Sika at all? It was
we did go to Sacramento
Yes,
and Sika.
of
You're
course,
right.
of course. And it was that
Oh.
same thing. Because for me, that was my, like, oh, holy balls, this is real. That was my it's real moment because people were like, oh, it's the Mud Peddlers. And also, they came up to me first because you had said for the Sacramento and Sika, go through Lindsey first.
Yeah.
And people definitely did that, which I thought was very sweet.
I was shaking hands and kissing babies at Ohio for sure. But the Sacramento one, I was like, I don't know. Oh, sussy. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
And I also realized in Sika is, not to say in its totality, but it's more of like a the other coast kind of a thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like there were not as many people at this convention as there were at Ohio.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, I have no proof of this, which is why I think ClayCon West exists, is because they mostly hold NSECA over there. And this is our like smaller grassroots version of NSECA. That's my conspiracy theory is like we need more than one a year and we need one on both sides.
Yeah.
And NSECA's already huge.
So I'm surprised because you already had your YouTube channel and everything. So I'm surprised that you were surprised about the attention that we were getting from the Mud Peddlers, because I assumed that would be like normal for you. But
No, I mean, when you really think about it, like most of my content comes from me in my like garage studio space. So realistically, I'm just shouting into the void, hoping someone listens. But when I meet a person, it becomes tangible, it becomes real. It becomes teachers who come up to you and go like, "Hey, I show my videos to your class, and they've improved immensely because of it. I want to thank you." And then I go, "Wow, like, I got children out there. Like, yeah, you know, like there's kids watching my stuff. And there's teachers. The amount of teachers who ask me to morph my content a little bit to make it like kid friendly a little more is more than you would think. But it's strange and not unbelievable, but like it's surreal to meet a teacher who's like, I'm one of the teachers.
Yeah.
That shows your stuff during class, and even though my YouTube channel has a lot of numbers, I think what generally happens is that I assume 1 out of every 100 of those people are like, I don't want to say real potters, but like diehard. Like, I got into pottery. I love your channel. Your content's helped me.
Oh,
I'm really making advancements because of your stuff. You know, like I've changed forever as an artist, a ceramic artist, because of you specifically. But the other, you know, 80,000 of them are just like people who, I enjoy his channel. It helps me sometimes. I'm not going to the conventions though. Like I'm not going to meet this guy. I'm never going to talk to this man. You know what I mean? So when I meet one that's gone that far up the scale of like, I wouldn't say diehard, but like I am an actual fan of yours. Then I go, oh, you're out there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's very surreal for me. Ohio was very, very real about that. When like every 3-5 minutes we were stopped. I was like, okay, so we actually have fans.
Yeah. And I think also like a lot of those folks stopping you were for like your YouTube channel as well. Like I think the Mud Peddlers has some reach on its own, but like you also as yourself as an individual have a lot of reach, like separate obviously from the Mud Peddlers. But that's really cool.
It's not, the more I think about it, the more, because I forgot it all, right?
Yeah.
I compartmentalized that. Like, I didn't know many people, but when you think about it, I tried to make a YouTube video about it, and I had to stop most of the footage because 30 minutes of the footage when I strung it together was just people who are like, oh, you're Donte. Oh.
Yeah.
Where's Lindsey? Oh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was that. I think the most surreal moment I had is when somebody at, I think it was a ceramic materials workshop, was like, are you Donte? And it sat right next to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm Donte. He goes, hey, me and my whole class follow your recipes. Did you use this recipe or this recipe? We can tell that your recipe is different from the traditional recipe that is on glazing. And I go, yeah, let me call my wife. I said, can you send me a picture? Look through the book in the garage. It's this kind of book. Gave him the recipe. He's like, thanks, the class will love this. And after he kind of went away, I was like, the whole ass class be watching my recipes?
Oh my god.
And then I looked him up, and it turns out he's like a professor. Like a glazed professor.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. It becomes super surreal. So it's I think at this point for the 3-year anniversary, I have now realized, like, no, we have spoken and shown things from our content that has made a difference in people's lives to the extent where they would come up to us and go, you have made a difference in some way. Like, you taught me how to center. That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It was like a 10-minute video. That's wild. What about you? Any surreal? I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, no. I think for me the biggest thing that the Mud Peddlers has done is it's really, I think, given me a lot of confidence to do things that I would have been too nervous to do before. Because I think when we first started the Mud Peddlers, when you came up to me with the idea, you know, I was kind of the opinion that I'm like, and it's still true that like, I'm not really that special, like I'm not really qualified to talk about these things. But then I was like, okay, well, but if we frame it from talking about our own experiences, then like, okay, yeah, maybe something could be helpful. I think the more feedback that we got from people, even online, like before we went to NCECA, the more that people like would, you know, use the hashtag, like hashtag the Mud Peddlers, or like they'd share how they'd be listening to the studio or listening to the episodes. It kind of made me realize like, oh, you know, I might feel nervous about doing this thing, but people are getting something from it. So I need to have more confidence to do and to share the information that I think could be helpful for other people.
Yes.
Even if I'm nervous about that. And part of the reason I bring that up is because I want like other people, especially folks who are listening to this, to think about that as well. Like if there's something that y'all are wanting to do, but you're like, I'm not, you know, I'm not that cool. Ooh, yeah. Just do it, you know. So
I'm just a baby.
So I think that's been a big thing. Also, the seeing that I can work through all of the mental hurdles that stop me from doing certain things. Like, again, when you first started talking about doing this, I was like, oh my god, I have to like find out how to record stuff and do the audio editing and do all this stuff. And now it's like I sit down on Monday evening
for Tuesday morning.
Yeah. And edit the podcast. And whereas before it's like I edited on Friday, and okay, admittedly, like there have been more times, like, because I think I've edited the podcast late a few times, and I really don't want to be doing that, you know?
Same. I just same the YouTube videos.
Yeah. Sometimes, but yeah, sometimes it comes. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but if I can, I'd like to not. So I think that's been something that's nice, is that over the 3 years between learning how to edit the podcast more efficiently, because it used to take me like hours to edit one episode. So I've got that streamlined down a lot more. I think it's also a lot easier because we kind of have a sense of what our tone is for the show. I've gotten a lot more used to talking when I'm being recorded and figuring out like how to, like, because, you know, when we talk to, like, the basis of the show is because you and I would just have conversations on our own that were fun and interesting, and then you were like, it's the pandemic, people need this stuff, let's do it. So I think it also helps that we've gotten used to we've gotten I think a little bit better about being concise about what we're saying, and our tangents are not quite as long as they used to be, which is what makes editing a little faster too.
We don't go off road too much now.
Like
we're going to Disneyland and then we end up at Universal Studios. Like, Now we just look over at Universal Studios and go, that's for another time. But we're still going to Disneyland. I think we're a bit better about that.
100%. What are some things that you want to see either added to the show, or like what do you want for the show in the next 3 years?
We need like every time we do a podcast, we need to open or close with a segment telling people when our next store updates are. And I know we did it for a second.
We've been getting a little bit better at it, but it's
hard for me. Like, and we need to call it the kiln plug.
We
need to call it the kiln plug.
Yes!
Like, that's what it has to be. And then whenever something important happens, like we were discussing in the car, not cemented yet, but probability. That we're gonna go to ClayCon West. Okay, we gotta tell people like 3 months beforehand. You know what I mean? That has to be a thing. So I think if anything were to be improved, we would have a segment where we talk about what we're going to do and what people should watch out for. Not only for the benefit of our like business, but also in case people want to meet us and go to conventions with us. You know?
I agree. Having like a segment like that, I think, makes a lot of sense. Like I've been looking to this podcast called Last Podcast on the Left. For kind of like some like guidance, I guess, on like how to, or some for inspiration for ideas on what we could do for ours. And they always have like specific segments for certain things. And I'm like, like that makes a lot of sense. And I'd kind of actually like to bring that to the Night Peddlers a little bit as well. I mean, again, if you're a patron and you're listening to this and you have been listening to the Night Peddlers episodes, you know, do you want more structure? Do you want less structure? You know, because we're you know, if you're a patron, we're doing this for you, so we want to know what you want.
Don't lie to him.
What?
We're unhinged as
Yeah.
on the Night Peddler.
Yeah,
we're super unhinged.
Yeah.
If you want a little less structure, no. There's
no structure. I mean, what's nice is that it ends up being like I feel like from the few episodes that we've done so far, the beginning part is like, what the hell are these guys, where is this going? And then usually like 10-15 minutes in, we start on a line of conversation, but that line of conversation evolves naturally, and like God knows where we end up. So if you want more structure on the Night Peddlers, tell us, because Night Peddlers is very much like the Donte and I are proverbially sitting in front of the fireplace with whiskey in our hands, swilling glasses and shit. So anyway, so
like the pants are off during the Night Peddlers.
Yes,
you know,
pants
are off.
Yeah,
but like the Mud Peddlers, what you're listening to now, I at least have boxers on.
Yeah, and we have some structure. That's actually been another thing that's been nice, is like in terms of the content that we've been doing. Something that I want to do more of, which I think we were a little bit better at when we were a little earlier.
Really,
is like scheduling out what we were going to talk about, because I think like so I've personally, and again, listeners, I'd really love your feedback on this. I like how we have some episodes that are more like conceptual, and some episodes that are more like technical, like, you know,
studio practice.
Yeah, like let's
like
talk about feet, let's talk about handles, and then we have some episodes that are like, what does value mean?
Right.
You know, so I like having that variety, but I think something that we could do more of is, because it's like I feel like recently, because we've been doing this for 3 years, there's a part of me that's like, God, what do we talk about? You know, because some of those earlier episodes that we did, we could almost break up into multiple smaller episodes and like detail, but I also don't want to get repetitive.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I want to, like, a personal goal for myself is I want to plan out a little bit farther ahead what we talk about, and also bring on more guests, because I think there's a lot of people that could contribute to some of the topics that we want to talk about. But, you know, it's honestly, that just comes down to me contacting people in enough time.
Right.
Because, again, since the Mud Peddlers, I've gotten more streamlined at editing it. It's a little bit more of an afterthought in my schedule and doesn't loom so large.
Yeah.
So that sometimes means that I forget to, like, contact people for, like, the next episode, and I just keep pushing it out. So those are a couple things that, like, I want to look at for the Mud Peddlers in the next 3 years, is more guests, kind of continue down that, like, balance of philosophical and technical, and plan out a little bit more what each topic is going to be.
Well, also, and I know this is a slight plug, but I think that we should tell people we are on Thread now. I have abandoned Twitter.
Oh, yeah!
I've abandoned Twitter because I don't know what Spaces is, and I don't like that there's reels on the Spaces. I'm a boomer. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, Thread is just words right now.
And pictures.
And I like that. That's all I want.
Too. It's
I like
so
it.
Simple.
And I know
it's not video. God.
I know a lot of your Twitter stands, but like Thread is just Twitter stand on dark mode, and I'm light sensitive, so I'm going to Thread. I will say though, while Thread, also side point, is that a lot of the followers that I get on either Twitter or Instagram are bots. So even though I have over like 10K subs or whatever, or 10K followers, realistically, like 1,000 of those actually follow my content. And I like that once I moved to Thread, all the people who are really about my work were like, of course I'm going to go to Thread. I like your work. You're going to post more work there. So granted, I only have, you know, close to like 600-700 on Thread. But like, my brain goes, that's all the real people. Those aren't bots.
Yeah.
Those are not fake bots. Those are like actual people who wanted to follow me.
I mean, admittedly, there still probably are going to be bots on Thread if there aren't already.
Sooner or later, there will be.
Yeah.
But like now I can just, on Twitter and Instagram, I didn't know at the time because it's been there forever. But now I can just like block you.
Yeah.
But I block so many people on Twitter.
If they're bots, yeah.
If they're, well.
Yeah, or just toxic.
I just don't like the way you look, really. No,
oh my Donte! Oh my God!
But I will say, as to go back around to the content thing, if you do want to suggest any content to us for the future, right now to contact us or message us on Thread is probably the best thing, because there's so few people that I will 100% see it right now.
Yeah.
But on Twitter and Instagram, it's gonna get lost in the sauce.
That's fair. For me, Instagram is still like good to message people or message
I'll
me through
check
that.
Instagram, but
Yeah.
It is turning into Tumblr very slowly.
either message me on Instagram or send Donte a thing on Threads.
Yeah, because Instagram is a sea of messages. And some of you guys change your icon profiles, and I can't find you forever.
Yeah, that's fair.
But on Thread, like, you know, so if you have ideas for content that you want us to go over or suggestions, then, like...
Yeah, that's actually has been super helpful, because, like, I think that's something that Ryan and Becca do a really good job with in Wheel Talk podcast, is they have a lot of really good back and forth with their people. And can I just say, they kind of intimidate me. Like, I know they're just people, and I know we literally did a panel with them, but I'm like, y'all are so professional, and you guys have this, like, amazing podcast with so much, like, back and forth between people, and you're probably listening to this right now, and I'm sorry that I'm, like, fangirling, but, like, it's true. It's like they're like, anyway.
I don't talk to Rebecca very much, but Ryan's the homie.
Oh, Ryan's great.
Ryan's a Chad,
Thank you,
too.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan's a Chad. He'll listen. He told me one time he listens to podcasts at twice the speed to take in twice the amount of content while he's throwing. And I'm like, what? That's a Chad move right there.
Man, that's awesome.
I watch videos.
The best kind of Chad, not like bad Chad.
There are definitely bad Chads out there, but he's a good Chad. It's just like, imagine someone's like, did you see that movie? And you're like, yeah, it was like a 30-minute movie. It was an hour. Not the way I watch it. I watch that twice the speed. I got shit to do, unlike you.
All right. Well, should we listen to some audio from people?
I'll listen to some audio, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let me see here. Oh, I'm so excited.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I can't even. Okay.
You all right?
Okay, all right. So this is going to be a little tricky in editing because I'm going to hear this now, but then I'm going to have to edit it in later. So, okay, I'm just going to.
You just cut out the audio for the top portion and then overlay the audio on the
Yes.
bottom and let that play.
Yes. Okay. All right, so here we go.
Hi, I am Stephanie Krist of Fired Figments. I make fantasy-inspired pottery and sculpture. I sell online and at the New York Renaissance Fair. I started listening to the Mud Peddlers in January of 2022. The first episode I ever listened to was their interview with Ave Rivera, and then I immediately binged the rest of their episodes in about 2 weeks. Now, whenever I see a new episode, I always stop whatever I'm listening to and put the Mud Peddlers on in my studio.
Yeah, you better.
The Mud Peddlers gave me the confidence to start my Patreon and my YouTube channel in 2022. They also convinced me to start sanding the bottoms of my pots.
Thank you.
And even though I hate the extra step, it definitely makes a big difference in the quality of my pottery. Before the Mud Peddlers, I had listened to other business podcasts, but never any specifically focused on ceramics. It's so nice to feel like you have a community of other potters when you work in a solo home studio. Now I listen to 4 other pottery podcasts too. I can't wait for another 3 years of the Mud Peddlers and to hear where Lindsey and Donte take their businesses next.
That's my name.
Oh my god!
That makes me so happy that you sand the bottom of your pots.
Oh.
I tell people I'm gonna make a YouTube video. I'm gonna get angry. I'll make a YouTube video about it where I'm like, you sand your pots or unfollow. Sand the bottom of your pots. It makes such a big difference in quality.
Donte.
I don't buy a pot unless it's sanded.
Donte.
On God, no cat.
She said that our podcast gave her the confidence to start her Patreon and YouTube channel.
I've never heard of the YouTube
I'm
channel.
gonna cry.
I'm gonna go look it up now.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go do a little trolling.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna Fired Figments Ceramics. Oh my god.
We're gonna do a little trolling.
Stephanie, thank you so much for sending that in. I'm so happy
That was professional too.
Yeah, seriously, your voice is
The voice
like
was like
perfect.
This
perfect.
is who I am. This is what I do, and this is how I like to do it.
Yeah, very good
this is what
radio voice.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
really, thank you so much for sending that in and for telling us what the Mud Peddlers has meant for you, and just God, I'm so happy to hear that.
You ever think about
that it's wait, let me finish. I'm being sentimental.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I want to.
my bad.
No, it's okay. I just want to. I want to finish this. So.
Get your tears out. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. But really, like,
Are we doing this for every one of them? Though?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
God dang.
I know. I'm sorry, but
Oh.
okay. Just
Go.
I'm genuinely so happy for you, and I like the idea that you stop whatever you're listening to whenever a new episode drops makes me want to always be on time with my episodes, so I never have to make you wait. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say. But Stephanie, thank you so much.
Stephanie, you ever think about doing a career in audio book voicing?
Oh yes,
You know what I mean?
I would absolutely
Would
listen
you?
to
That.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
Don't
It's
make
great.
it weird, guys.
Okay.
I just like it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the next person. Everyone's writing these like so nice notes. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Is that a video?
It's a video. I'm so happy. Okay.
Hi Mud Peddlers, I'm CJ. I saw Lindsey's post about your 3-year anniversary coming up, and I want to say congratulations. I can't believe I've been listening to you guys for 3 years now. It's gone by really fast this time. I'm a ceramics teacher. I went to UC Davis to study sculpture and painting, and then lived in Korea for a little bit teaching, and came back to California to teach and get my credential. And I found the Mud Peddlers probably when most people found the Mud Peddlers, right when COVID was hitting and we were starting to go into lockdown. I was teaching from home. It was really hard. I mean, if you can imagine being a ceramics teacher from home digitally. And so finding your podcast was kind of like a lifeline in that time. Also, I'd been used to working in like community studios and being around other ceramics artists. I was doing night classes with Yoshio for a while, for a couple years, not in pottery, but with his sculpture lab, kind of Donte, in like the kiln room. And Yoshio had actually retired right before that COVID year. And so I wasn't going to that studio anymore. I was going to other community studios, but again, everything locked down. So I found myself just working alone in my garage, and having you guys like in my earbuds while I was throwing my pots or working on sculptures was really nice. I'm just so grateful that you guys started Mud Peddlers then, because hearing you guys like laugh and have real conversations and dialogues that I'm always having in my mind, especially in that time when I was feeling a little bit severed from everybody, was just a huge lifesaver. I really, really loved when you guys did the interviews of local artists around here. I love that you guys are so open about pricing, because I struggle with pricing and like, you know, the too much, too little, how am I going to ever make profit? I also really enjoyed the tips on NCECA. I went to NCECA in Sacramento, and mainly like afterwards, after you guys went to NCECA, like some of the things that Donte was saying, I really agreed with. I felt a lot. So it was nice to kind of have that validation of my own thoughts being heard from another professional artist in our community, because yeah, you know, you just kind of think things all the time. It's nice to hear other people validate what you're thinking. I feel like I know you guys so well, and you don't know who I am at all. So I wanted to take this opportunity to reach out and just, again, say thank you. And I have so much gratitude, and having your podcast has been really helpful. So cheers to 3 years for you guys. And I look forward to hearing more like interviews and listening to Lindsey's deep dive into becoming a professional full-time artist. I've always thought about doing that, and listening to your journey is really helpful for me to kind of, you know, if I maybe one day I'm going to quit teaching and just become a full-time artist. How do you do that? Lindsey's got you've got your routines, and you've got your schedules, and you're very organized, and it seems like that's how you do it. Anyways, thank you so much. I hope that you guys feel a lot of gratitude from all the people that are submitting these.
Oh my God.
I forget how emotional you are until these things
Oh my
happen.
God.
I forget so...
I'm just like...
You made her cry.
Oh my God. CJ, thank
is your
you
fault,
so
CJ.
much.
Now I have to
Oh
deal
my
with
God,
this.
this is so...
And there's more.
Oh my God,
There's
there's
4
more.
more.
Oh
Lindsey,
my
there's-
God. No, but it's like, I think what's so amazing to hear is like, that I don't even think about is the community aspect
At
of
all.
this. Yeah,
They're
like
connected in a way we are not.
I know.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
What I feel like, why the reason I'm f***ing crying right now, which is so silly, but it's just, it's like that feeling of, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I remember being in high school and going to the scholarships award ceremony for like all of these like scholarships that were getting awarded, and no one in the arts got a scholarship. The only people who got scholarships were people who were gonna be doctors or lawyers, or it's just like literally one guy got like 80% of the scholarships, and he was going to like UC Davis for a medical school degree. And not to knock that at all, but it's just like,
Yep.
God, we always get these messages that the arts just don't matter.
They don't get representation.
Yeah, and it's just so to hear from people that like what we're doing actually impacts their lives in a meaningful way, even if it just means so much.
Yeah.
So.
I think part of the problem with the arts, it's an overarching problem with a lot of other things too, is that they don't get representation, but there's saturation of it in our society. Like,
yeah.
Whatever book, whatever video game, whatever show you're watching, it took a team of artists to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And people take it for granted because it's so saturated in our everyday lives.
Mm-hmm.
But if you took away, like, the colors of certain things and the representation of them and the way they hit certain wavelengths in your brain when you look at them, you'd be a ball of gray non-personality. Your surroundings you'd get bored.
Yeah.
You would start doing things you ain't supposed to be doing.
We're
look for stimulus.
Being artistic is an intrinsic part of being a human being. Even if you don't consider yourself artistic,
Yeah.
it's like the arts are just vital. Like that's just the thing.
It's necessary for...
Yeah,
you can't just take a human being, put them in a gray box and be like, live a life well lived.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
Secondly, this person is a whole different beast from me. COVID started, and I was like, yes. Yes.
I get to be alone.
I get to be alone.
Oh my God.
I go to the bank, ain't nobody here.
Mm-hmm.
they were like, you can't go to studios. And I was like, good, I don't like them anyway. I'll make my own studio.
Oh my god.
And there's anime on the walls, and it's good. She did name Yoshio, though.
That was rad.
A little strange story is people continued to take Yoshio's classes, and evidently they're like, yeah, Donte went here.
Ah!
And he's like, how you know? You know Donte? And they're like, yeah. And then they showed him, like, all the stuff.
Yeah,
and he's like, what? He didn't tell me none of this. And so that's kind of funny that they're... I know he's retired now, but...
Yeah.
I don't know who it is now, but when she's like, you know the layout, right? Yeah, I remember the layout. Oh, I'll share something personal with you.
Tell me.
One of the most beautiful moments I ever had is I had one of the worst days of my life. I got into a car crash, and I was like, it was not happening for me that day, and I was stranded at school because my mom was like, I'll come pick you up at like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
and I was like, I got enough money for food, and that's about it. And I guess, and so I went to Yoshio's studio. It was storming. It was storming so bad. Lightning, thunder everywhere. And I went to Yoshio in the middle of him teaching a class, and he hates that shit. So I came in, he looked at me, and he goes, you want to work on your stuff? And I go, yeah. And he goes, go ahead, go to the back. He set me up like one little lamp, so I could only see what I was working on, and maybe some backdrop. It was a giant shadow next to the glaze buckets.
Yeah.
It was raining, storming. He has like a corrugated metal roof, so you can hear...
Oh, yeah.
And it was super quiet because in the front they were watching a slideshow that he was presenting. It's the most beautiful moment of my entire life.
Wow.
I was like, damn, if I could do this forever in the dark, cold rain with one little candle-looking light on, glazing stuff I don't even like, this will be Pog for the rest of my life.
Hell yeah,
That'd be great. It was a magical moment.
Wow.
As fairies are around me and shit. It was great.
Dude, that sounds magical.
It was, when people put on like, oh, it's sleep time, like, supposed to put you to sleep videos.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, rain and darkness. That's what it was, but with pottery mixed in.
Oh my god.
It was
That's
beautiful.
heaven. That's heaven.
No,
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you putting your video in. I almost said put your thing in. But I knew that wasn't going to go over well.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Are you good?
I'm good. And CJ, I've been thinking about this a lot because somebody else asked me like to do kind of like a deep dive on the financial aspects of like, again, how do you do the whole full-time thing? So Donte, if you're down, we can do like a full deep dive episode on me.
I'm down.
But on like on how I've managed things, because it's there's a lot that goes into it, and yeah, I want to share that information because I think it's like information that I would have wanted to hear, and I haven't fully shared all of the details, so I will do that. It may end up being me just kind of talking at you.
It's fine.
But yeah. Okay. All right, CJ, thank you so much. All right. Let's move to the next one. Oh, I'm excited.
I appreciate the video too because I get to see what you guys look like.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, I asked people to send in either like an audio recording or like a video recording, just whatever was easier for them.
Comfortable for you.
Yeah, it's cool to get to see people's faces.
I'm like, oh, that's a person.
Yeah.
Hey guys, my name's Noelle, and my Instagram handle is @MuddyHippiePottery, and that's hippie with a Y because IE was already taken. I work at a production studio / community classroom studio, and I get to manage the classroom side. I've been listening to the Mud Peddlers for about 2 years now, and I do most of my listening on my commute because it is a 2-hour round trip. And I first fell in love with the podcast when I realized immediately how dorky and weird you guys are. And
Bless.
I really love how y'all always play devil's advocate for one another's views by giving all the pros and cons for each topic. And it really gives you all the different angles to look at something. And even though I've been really stubborn about it, y'all have inspired me to start my own YouTube channel, doing tutorials so my students can have video guides whenever I'm not around. I'd love to hear more about how Donte's classes are going and how he structured them, and more talks about glaze making, because that's something I've been heavily interested in over the past year. Like, what have been some of the worst and best moments? And also more interviews, because I love hearing about how some of the other pottery influencers got started versus where they are today. Thanks for being awesome, and we love you guys.
We've only gone through 3.
Oh my God!
We've done half of them, Lindsey.
Oh my God, that's just, oh my God. Okay, Noelle, thank you so much. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, so we gotta do interviews. We gotta bring more people on.
Request,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Also, the glaze. On a separate note, I'm probably gonna change one of my Patreon tiers. I think either you or somebody else suggested this, but one of my Patreon tiers is like used to be a live cast. I don't have I have a kid. I don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
I can't sit in the studio in 100-degree weather with my kid and like.
Right.
So I think one of the tiers is now gonna be like full frontal, all the glaze information.
Oh.
You want the good glazes from Donte West? You're gonna have to be a patron.
Oh.
And I feel bad about it. I feel like I'm gatekeeping it a bit, but also like.
I mean, to be honest, dude, like
I put a lot of work in these damn glazes.
You do. That's a whole other. We should make that another topic. I'm gonna write that down now. It's like when to charge for things and when to not. That's okay. Sorry, I'm gonna write this down. Real quick.
No, you're good.
That's cool. Okay. So I hella appreciated all of the topic suggestions in that, and also, good lord, 2-hour commute. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry you have to.
I'm glad we can help with that because that is.
I'm glad that so many people are starting their YouTube channels off of. Just being like, oh, it's not that hard. The editing is harder than the actual just starting it.
Yeah, I'm. Y'all are inspiring me because I still haven't. I mean, I have a YouTube channel for like the Mud Peddlers.
Yeah.
But I don't have it for my own content. So honestly, like it's like a circle of inspiration because y'all are inspiring me.
It's an inspirational circle jerk.
Yeah. I mean, that's the best kind of circle jerk, I'd say. The inspirational kind. Yeah. Also, I'm really glad. It's really validating to hear that Noelle likes and it sounds like other people like the kind of back and forth that we have and just like the overall dynamic, because I feel like that is something that is special about the Mud Peddlers, that we have that weirdness and dorkiness, which makes me so happy to hear that people enjoy. And then we have that, again, that like back and forth.
Yeah, no, I enjoy that you guys are fond of the fact that we take the pros and cons of each other's sides and talk about it. And the thing that I like about it is that I can talk to Lindsey in a non-toxic way. Usually somebody thinks that, and it might just be because I'm like a tiny bit on the scale, but whenever I say something, I say it because I think it's true, and the way I say it might not be taken well. But when I say something, I don't mean it to like start an argument or hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
And you know that. So when I say something, what it's either going to happen is you're going to be like, yeah, that's probably true. Or you're going to be like, no, I don't think that's true, and here are the reasons why. And that's a real conversation without, like, too much emotional backlash.
Yeah.
Or any.
Yeah.
And I think most people who have the emotional backlash, it just turns into an argument, and we don't really argue here.
Yeah.
Half the time, Lindsey will say something, and I'll just be like, yeah, you're right. You know?
Or you'll say things, and I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
You'll be like, yeah, I can see how that is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Are you ready for number 4?
Thank you so much. I'm ready for number 4.
That one didn't make you cry.
5. I know. I think that's like I've begun to process the feelings, so I'm not like the emotions have been. I'm not crying as much, but we'll see. Oh my god, it's such a roller coaster every time I tap on the thing to listen to it. It's just
came back.
Feelings. Okay. Oh my god.
Hey guys, my name is Tori Solis of Blue Nose Trading. I'm a ceramic artist in Texas and have been with the podcast since the very first episode. I taught myself to throw with the aid of Donte's videos and have been documenting my entire journey on my own YouTube channel since the first day on the wheel. I personally feel like everything that gains the attention of my consciousness has an effect on my creative work. So I try to keep myself present and involved with worthwhile content and people. I've committed myself to a path of lifelong learning and growth, not only in base facts, but in the absorption of perspectives. I find the Mud Peddlers podcast to be a rich source of both subjective and objective information for consideration. Lindsey, you provoke me to think deeply about my work and artistic purpose from different perspectives. Donte, from you, I think deeply about the craft, quality, and function of my work. I consider myself an artist in that I have big thoughts and big feelings about the meaning and purpose of my work. I also have strong value in the pursuit of quality, functionality, and craft in my work. I want to make the best work that I can make, with every pot a stepping stone to the next pot. From your show, I'm always left considering and reconsidering my work from all sides. I know my best pot will always be my next pot. I'm a process through time, and I'm so thankful to be on this journey. I care a lot, I think a lot, and it can be so hard to know just what to say. So I think I'll simply leave you with my sincere appreciation. Thank you for all you do and contribute to the ceramic art community. I look forward to seeing the notification for every new episode.
Oh, shit.
Oh
my god.
Can I just say That one hit me straight in the balls.
Bro, wait, no, you're walking away from the thing. They gotta hear you.
That one hit me so hard.
Oh my god.
And Lindsey's
Me too.
crying.
I'm crying again. I know I said I processed things, but I really didn't.
No, it goes
Oh
it,
my
every
God.
time. Maybe
Oh
you're
my
hungry.
God.
I get emotional when I'm hungry.
No, it's just here. I mean,
That one was good. She was like, I learned. You know what?
they were all good.
I mean, they're all good, but that one was so thorough.
Tell me why it hit you in the balls.
It hit me in the balls because she was like, I like the emotional side from Lindsey and all the theory crafting and the postulating emotion and like processing emotions and whatnot. And she's like, and Donte, I like how you're just like, this is quality, and I have to deal with that. And she took both of our personalities, packaged them into the Mud Peddlers, and said like, I get both of what you both represent out of your work, and I make use of it. Yeah, and she's like, I learned how to throw from your videos. Oh my god, that's wild! I got kids out here. I got kids out here.
Oh my god,
get adopted.
It's just so powerful too, hearing people talk about their work. Like, I know this sounds silly, but it's like, Tori, I don't think we've ever talked on Instagram before because I don't recognize your name, but it's like,
I do.
You're out there and you are making work and you are processing feelings, the big thoughts and big feelings that you have, and that's just amazing to hear about where you are on your journey, and just like you exist, and that's amazing, you know?
May I just say, as a side note, is that I like to segment my work into like a baby potter, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then from the point at which you're advanced, in my mind, you're trying to put a piece of yourself, or at least your emotional state, into your work. And she's already theorizing that. She's already talking about how, like, I understand everything that I experience will affect me and thus will affect my work as well.
Yeah.
And that is a large thought for an artist in general.
Yeah.
You are asking yourself how to physically represent yourself in your artwork.
Wow.
And if you can teach someone to do that on demand, that to me is advanced.
Yeah.
It takes a bit of it's almost like therapy. It takes a bit of self-realization.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It absolutely does.
Yeah, and I like that. I enjoy that she's like, I'm trying to stay present and I'm trying to represent that in my work.
Yeah,
like,
my best pot will always be my next pot.
That
Hell
was bars right there.
Oh!
Put it on a t-shirt.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna write it down when I get home.
Oh my god. Wow.
You a rapper? Drake's new single, Best Pot, Next Pot.
Oh.
Damn. You know when you hear a good song, you make that face, like, ooh, that face.
Yeah.
I had like three of those.
I wish to God now, if nothing else, for this moment that we were still doing video recording. I mean, I'm glad we're not, because that took a lot of but I wish that, like, you dear listeners had been able to see the expression on Dante's face.
Let's take a play-by-play on the screen over here.
Yeah.
There was, I learned to throw from YouTube. Alright, self-made right there. Let's go on over here, let's take it to the flank. Let's take it to the meat of this awesome sandwich.
Okay.
The next pot is my best pot. Bars in the sandwich right here. That's straight turkey, lean, low fat right there on the sandwich. Of course, we got wheat buns over here. This one at the bottom here, I'm trying to stay present in my work. That's a nutritional lunch, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's a nutritional lunch. I'd eat that every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Preach.
Okay? And it would work when I'm bodybuilding or if I'm just trying to lose weight. Beginner, advanced. Doesn't matter, it works. Okay, everybody, back on the field. Butt slaps for everybody. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Back to the showers.
10 points, coach.
10 points.
All right. Last one because okay. So I'm gonna be editing in one last one because there's well, I mean, y'all are gonna find out who it's from in a second.
You'll know when you're listening to this.
Yes.
Which is now.
Yes, because I kept pushing out the deadline of when people could submit stuff. So there's like one that came in a little bit later, but I still wanted to include it. So I'm sorry we won't be able to properly respond to it, but yours, Leah, will be in there. But all right, now for the last one that we currently have on hand, let's do it.
Hi everyone, this is Robin from Australia. My Instagram handle is Robin Boyd Pottery. I make mostly functional work, and I started a few years ago when I remembered how much I enjoyed pottery in high school. So I bought myself a wheel and a kiln, and I've just been having fun ever since. I started watching Donte on YouTube, and I saw from his channel that there was this as well, and so I started listening to you. I mostly throw while I'm listening, I just need to be really careful not to laugh while I'm pulling up my walls.
It'll move your sternum.
I get good tips from you, but mostly I just like the feeling of hanging out with you guys.
That is really sweet.
We're there.
glad you like hanging out with us, Robin.
Yeah,
oh
we're
my
always
god.
there. I'm actually right behind you right now.
Oh, yeah, we both are.
You
Just
better-
staring over your shoulder.
No pants.
Donte.
Oh, that's for night peddlers.
That's for night peddlers.
You're right.
Yeah, okay.
I have pants on.
That makes me so happy. Oh my god. Just like again, I think this Robin's last comment here reminded me of some of like the through line in a lot of these recordings that we've been sent is that again just like that community aspect of it. Like to me the idea of cultivating community always sounded like a gimmicky kind of phrase or like a thing that I was just like, oh, I can't cultivate community, like blah, blah.
It does sound, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, oh my god, we kind of like did it without even meaning to, and that makes me so happy. Like, it just
You're processing a lot of emotions going on over there right
big
now.
feels
Get
right
a lot
now.
of big feels right now.
Big feels.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. I think I actually know Robin from my Discord.
Oh, nice.
He's very active on the Discord.
Hell yeah. I
Yeah.
need to get on your Discord more. Wow.
I've been trying to be more present on there just because I stay in like the Glaze chemistry or the Glaze talk because
You gotta let me into that furry server.
my lord, I have a NSFW
Yeah.
and it's just full of furries.
That's so funny.
That's all it is. And every
love
time
it.
someone is like, I want, because you have to get permission to get in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime someone's like, can I get in there? I'm like, you dirty.
Yeah.
I know why you're going. It's for the art. Sure it is. We got one more, but technically it's not here yet.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
gonna go in here.
Hey, this is Leah Harvell of Queen Amethyst Ceramics. I've been listening to the Mud Peddlers since its start, and it's been a major part of my post-grad clay journey. I fell in love with ceramics in high school and continued into college, with a hiatus occurring once I became a full-time teacher. I jumped back into actively doing clay during the pandemic, with Donte's YouTube videos as a refresher guide. This in turn introduced me to Lindsey and the start of the podcast. Whether I was creating in my living room, outdoors, or even in my van, I always got a good laugh and a useful lesson when I listened. They break down the world of pottery, especially topics and aspects I didn't automatically consider or were never taught. They explain thoroughly in ways that are easy to understand and from an open, honest place with different perspectives. They helped me the most with my independent artistic identity as I figured out pricing my work, building my website, selling online and soon in person, planning for holiday selling, balancing productivity and mental health, and preparing for NSECA. I was so happy to meet them there, and they're awesome fun people on the air and in person, and I enjoy that we have similar interests, and they incorporate their nerdiness into the podcast. Thank you for everything, and I look forward to more fun and wisdom. Congratulations again, Lindsey and Donte, on 3 years. Bye!
Hey Leah. Okay, so this is future Lindsey, who just listened to your message while editing the podcast. I'm so sorry that Donte and I are not able to be together to properly respond to your video, but you get me, so hopefully that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for your message. Like, I think one of the things that made me smile the most in hearing what you had to say about your experience listening to the Mud Peddlers has to do with when Donte and I talk about various subjects that you either weren't taught or just had never thought about, and that makes me feel like I'm doing my job with the Mud Peddlers because, you know, when Donte approached me with the idea of doing a podcast during the pandemic, one of the things that kind of helped me overcome some of those mental hurdles had to do with thinking that maybe some of my experiences and some of Donte's experiences could help folks who kind of like me, like when I graduated from college, I was kind of like, okay, I've been taught how to do art, but how do I actually make this into a business? What about pricing? What about selling your work? Etc., etc. So thank you so much for being with the Mud Peddlers since the beginning, and for all of your awesome support and just generally being an awesome human being. So, all right, back to future/past, Lindsey? Okay.
We're gonna pretend. Oh, Leah, that was so good. That was the best one.
Yes.
Woo!
I'm actually very sorry that we're not able to like hear it and like respond to it right now because you just heard future edit from future Lindsey, but now we're back in present Lindsey, who, as you are listening to this, is also past Lindsey. But to be honest, I like Leah, probably by the time you're hearing this, you will have received a voice recording from me on Instagram. And I also want to write responses to everybody in, you know, respond to the emails that they sent in as well.
Oh, because emails and?
No. I want to reply to everyone in email format and just to thank them. Because again, you know, I mean, this just like the fact that folks took time out of their day to just like record stuff. Because I don't know about you, but like I would overthink the shit out of if I was sending in a recording to like any podcast that I listen to. It would be difficult to do that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for sending in your audio. Happy 3rd year birthday / anniversary of the Mud Peddlers, man.
Yeah, do something special for yourself today.
Yeah.
Get a new bottle of lotion in the studio. I know every studio I go to, there's a bottle of lotion.
Yep.
And if you don't know anything about pottery, you're like, that's weird. It's a thing. It's the lotion in the corner is a thing.
Get yourself some nice new lotion for your hands.
Yeah.
Buy that expensive stuff.
Only for your hands.
Oh, well, I mean, we have no say on what else they do with it.
I mean.
Any last thoughts?
Oh, man. You want to do a kiln plug real quick?
Yeah.
When's your next update? Lindsey! It's time for the kiln plug.
I know.
When is your next...
Sorry.
When is your next Etsy update?
I still feel so many things, and I'm not on Etsy anymore.
Okay.
I have my website. Honestly, if I can, I'm going to squeeze in a very tiny update sometime at the end of August. To be honest, the best thing to do is subscribe to my newsletter because I'm not sure when it's going to be out or if it's going to be out because I got sick last week and I lost an entire ass week of work. And so I am cramming like crazy getting inventory ready for SAC Anime.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try and have at least a small update, and this was not intended as a plug for signing up for my newsletter, but that's what it's turning into because I haven't chosen the date yet. But in terms of events that I'm going to, I will be at SAC Anime Summer in Sacramento, California. The first weekend in September, I will be there all 3 days. If you're in the Sacramento area, come by, say hi, and look at some nerd shit with the rest of us.
My next store update is going to be October the 1st.
Ooh.
Before all the Christmas stuff, I'm just going to make a big old sale.
Nice.
And I'm gearing up for that right now, as well as SAC Anime. I will be at SAC Anime September 1st as well. So right after SAC Anime, I'm going to gear up for my online sale.
Yeah.
And then that's all we're doing for the year. And then after that...
Well, no. I got a bunch of other stuff happening later in the year, but that's
okay.
for a future Kiln Plug episode.
Right, that's fair. And then we're going to ClayCon West?
Yes.
The first of next year.
But we need to, again,
Yeah, we have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll get the deets on that later. But yeah, there's
Those are the ethereal plans.
Yeah. And are you going to be at SAC Anime all weekend or just one day?
All weekend. I've actually requested the days off.
Nice.
Already.
Hell yeah.
And like it's a request, but like I'm not going to work those days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love my job. It's a nice job. There's like some irritations there, but also like if I have the ability to make the amount of money I could make at SAC Anime at work, I wouldn't need to go to SAC Anime.
Yep.
But I am.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, I need to sell my work, so.
Yeah.
Also, super ethereal.
Okay.
Next year, might throw an art party in Sacramento.
Oh.
Might do a little art gallery show, sell some of my higher end work. But
Dang.
that's super ethereal.
And do you know where that? Well, okay, super ethereal. So that's like a we'll
pound out the details later.
Yeah.
Good. You want to see?
Honestly, this feels like after therapy, where I'd have like this big like emotional release, and I just kind of sit and go, I just want to like eat cheese and bread and sit on the bank of a river and just like exist. That's how I feel right now, guys. It's great.
It was a mental blowjob.
Yeah. Excellent. And scene. And that's it for today. Thank you for listening to The Mud Peddlers with Lindsey M Dillon.
And Donte of Earth Nation.
Want to say hi and see what Donte and I are working on in our studios? Check out the show notes for links to our websites and social media below.
You can find me at lindseymdillon.com. That's LINDSEY, M as in monster, DILLON.com. And on Etsy, Instagram, and Facebook at Lindsey M Dillon.
And you can find me at Earth Nation Ceramics. It's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled, but you can also find me on my Facebook fan page and Instagram at the same name at Earth Nation Ceramics.
If you enjoyed hanging out with us today, or you have a question or topic you'd like us to discuss, take a second to rate and review the Mud Peddlers in Apple Podcasts. It helps our podcast reach new listeners, and we really appreciate the feedback. Thanks again, and we'll catch you next time.